All right, everyone. I'm a day behind. Fortunately for me, actually, I got to play darts last night while I was sort of watching the hockey game, and the Dallas Cowboys played. So I watched that game when I got home, and then I ended up watching the entire Leaf-Chicago game, and I could do a little bit of fast forwarding, thank God. But the Leafs lose 4-1 to the Chicago Blackhawks, who surprised. I think I'll go back to my first pre-video before the season started and say, "Oh, Bill, are you so excited about all the changes?" Nothing has changed. As I stated before, go back to the previous 3-4 seasons. The Leafs start off the exact same way every time. Josh Anderson has a hell of a game. Montreal does well in the first one. The Leafs typically win in overtime. What happened? The Leafs then beat a team big, and then they lose to a bad team. Check Anaheim last year. Check friggin' Chicago 2 years ago. Check Arizona. This is what the Leafs do. They haven't changed at all. Where am I supposed to get really excited? I mean, the game was crap to boot last night. At least the Minnesota game was nice to watch. It was interesting. But, there's a couple things I'm going to focus in on, and you're going to be sick and tired of me until I drill it through some people's heads. I'm sure the people that probably watch this video understand what I think about this team and why I don't think it's going to be a very successful playoff team as it's constructed today. The only hope I have is that at some point, something is going to change. But let's get into it. First of all, the first period, blah. Just terrible. You're playing a horrible team. You bury them at the beginning. There were plenty of chances to bury them, but that would require effort. And the only one I saw bring some effort, and at one point he was looking like he was playing in a goddamn Sega Genesis game, was Nylander. He was deking out everybody. And of course he got the only assist on Tavares shooting the puck, but it was all Nylander who did all the work. But he gets the puck. It's just special when he gets the puck. He's playing fantastically. But unfortunately and again, they had some Arvid Soderblom. I don't know, he's a backup goalie, 23. He might be a young, good goalie, but he didn't have to start tonight. The goalie who had to start tonight was Joseph Woll, who I thought played very, very well. I mean, at the end of the day, how many times are you going to get banged in front of your net? You got Connor Bedard coming at you. You got Timothy Liljegren handing pucks over at the blue line. You got no net front coverage whatsoever. None of our defensemen stand in front of the net. If they do, I'm going to show you a video in just a second what happens to these said defensemen when they stand in front of the net with other people around. It's not a pretty sight. It's just horrid. You take a look at the first goal. The first goal is just a microcosm of why I get fed up. Why am I going to put up with John Klingberg and Jake McCabe? These are two goddamn awful defensemen. They're just awful. Again, I think Klingberg's afraid of a shadow. Still, 3 games in, I don't think he's become a foot from another defender or from another offensive person. He's never in front of his own net. The man finds a way of covering the guy on the wing. Matthews is the one left in front of the net. The center's the one left in front of the net. Klingberg never show me where Klingberg goes to the front of the net and actually ties a stick up or engages the man. If you could show me that video, that's as rare as finding the goddamn Loch Ness Monster. Maybe I'll find a Sasquatch or whatever they call that bloody thing they're looking for. I'm sure there's a name for it. The guy doesn't engage anybody. He's a joke. An absolute joke. How can you be that tall and be that soft? That's ridiculous. But if you can show me the video, I'll show you a video. But if you can show me a video of where he actually engages a person in front of his net, let me know. Good luck. That's going to take some detective work. I've got all the games taped. I can't find it. If you find it, maybe you did it in practice. Maybe. But just let me know. Okay? So the first goal, Klingberg is fixing his chin strap just like Corbinian Holzer did on his back check. He pinches down in the corner. Puck breaks out. The only person who tried hard on that shift was Ryan Reeves. I'll give him credit. He's back checking. He's trying. He gets the puck. They get a play out front of the net. It goes to the corner. You got David Kampf, who's supposed to be this defensive defenseman. And again, John Klingberg staying as far away from the person that is going to have the puck as possible. So I'm not going to go hit that guy and force the issue and let him make a mistake. I'm going to give him time because if I went over there, he might hit me back. And they fired out front to the open and whistle. And Jake McCabe, I don't know what the hell that is, tries to block it. 1-0. Beautiful. Like, this is just, how in the... Jake McCabe stats this year. Jake, Brian, Bobby Orr McCabe, because I saw him pinch all over the goddamn place again today, and I'm about to show you a video. Brian, Jake, bloody McCabe, stats for the year, 0 goals, 0 assists, and -5. That's the stats. Pretty impressive, isn't it? I don't care if we're paying him $2 million. That's $2 million too much. Waive this motherfucker. Sorry for swearing. Waive this MFer and give it to him. You cannot be any worse. I don't care who you bring up. Topi, whatever the guys we have in the... Simon Benoit, put him on the goddamn ice. Jake McCabe's a disaster. An utter disaster. Yeah, it's not going to... John Klingberg at least gets points. Jake McCabe, here you go. You want to know why I think Jake McCabe shouldn't be in the NHL? Watch this. Thoughts? Jake McCabe, our tough defenseman who's supposed to... He makes Jake Muzzin look good, which is really challenging. As I said, Jake is well on his way to being the worst defenseman I've seen play for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and that takes something. Got knocked down by the rear end, if I'm not mistaken, of Ryan Donato, and flew from covering the person in front of his own net to he fell backwards. He looked like Glenn Healy trying to make a save on a slap shot. This is our number one shutdown defenseman. How can you watch that video and take him seriously from now on? You can't. It's impossible. That's just awful. I don't care. It's awful. Should be bench him at the very least. There's no way Brad Trevelling is going to watch that and take that as good. He had Zadura, for God's sakes, in Calgary. He had a defense that actually moved people. He cannot look at Klingberg and McCabe and have a party about it. Anyways, Nylander goes on a special play. He'd actually played very good in the second period. I thought the Leafs did very well in the second period. They tie it up 1-1. Everything's going well. And then Mark Giordano goes for a brain fart. What would you call that? So Corey Perry gets a breakaway that he's not even great. Someone was yelling in the bar, "Oh, Perry's a cherry picker." NHL. Cherry picking, you get a goal, good for you. I'm not a big Corey Perry fan, but for God's sake, Corey Perry's a fourth liner. The last thing the Leafs should have been worried about going into the night is what Corey Perry's doing. But apparently they worried about it. They apparently didn't worry about Corey Perry getting behind them. That's like novice move, right? The novice, the defenseman on the far side. So Giordano pinches. And then I don't know what he does from there because when I see him, he's at the Leafs blue line. When the other team has the puck and Corey Perry's he's at the Chicago blue line and Corey Perry's at the Leaf blue line. Now, how he got behind him that he didn't notice that, it's kind of scary. And you got Mitch Marner trying to do a double axel to block a puck. It didn't work. Corey Perry buries it 2-1. Then you get the power play. Power play makes it 3-1. What do you want to do from there? By the way, on that power play, check out Jake McCabe. It's very special. You know, give and go as a defenseman, it's like he's never played it before. Oh, I get it. I'm going to move over. The guy passes the puck. I'll move over to the guy who gets the puck and leave the other guy who passed the puck to go right down the middle. Just brilliant. I mean, just brilliant. What a Okay, the teams Jake McCabe's played for. Buffalo, Chicago. They weren't known as stalwarts on defense, were they? There's probably a reason why Jake McCabe was on those teams. It wasn't because he was good. It's because he's on a bad team. Because he's a bad player. So what do you think he's going to do? Go to a good team and be a good player? Tried that before. How's that working out? God awful. Anyways, 3-1. Who cares about the offside call to make it 3-2 with 6 seconds left? Taylor Radish gets another goal to make it 4-1. Who cares? Here's what I want you to take away from this. This defense is not going to last. You have 2, maybe 3. Liljegren sometimes. I'll take a Liljegren. Don't get me wrong. Giordano's done. He's cooked ham. I mean, he doesn't know how to check behind him. He's 40 years old. He hasn't played in the NHL long enough to know that Corey Perry might try to cherry pick a little bit. Might blow the zone a little bit. Especially when it's on the opposite side. I don't know why he was still sitting on the boards over there. I think maybe he had a, I don't know. Sometimes I get that when I'm just sitting around and I just don't even know what I'm doing. I went upstairs to fill a glass of water and I forgot the glass downstairs. So then I had to walk back down and get my glass. Maybe you had one of those moments. I have them. We're old. It happens. But you got maybe you can convince me that Brody, maybe you convince me that Riley, maybe you convince me Liljegren, but we don't have another defenseman after that. This will not. You might be able to be good in the regular season. You know, the one thing the Leafs didn't do is score 6 goals tonight. Hey, if Austin Matthews gets a hat trick every game, we're good. But our defense is not going to, we're not going to win a lot of games 2-1 or 1-0 unless our goalie stands on his head. This needs to change. It's 3 games in. I don't give a crap. We haven't changed since the regular season. We know what happened last year. We haven't changed in the offseason. We haven't changed nothing. That's why Bill's not excited. Now, Thursday, same thing. I play darts on Thursdays, although the Cowboys don't play. At least the Cowboys won, even though we've got the worst coach in the history of NFL history, trying to stop that from happening. But at least I got to watch the Cowboys win last night. There is no Cowboys game on Thursday, so I'll be able to come home from darts, watch the game, and hopefully put together a video either late Thursday night or early Friday morning. Cheers. Bye.